team. I'm Amanda, one of the co-founders. We have Grace, who's also a co-founder. We have Uyanga, who's over there, she's head of marketing, and Kabir, who will be moderating today, and he's also head of resources. So if you have any questions, please do come and talk to us. And I want to take this opportunity to invite you to our next events as well. We have one coming up on January 28th in Impact Hub in Meguro, where we're going to be talking about local innovation or community-focused projects in energy. And so the QR code is right there. You can also find info on our Facebook, LinkedIn, or PSX pages. And speaking of startups, we also have 2 startup pitch nights in planning with Tokyo Tech Startups, which is basically one of the biggest, if not the biggest, tech startup community in Tokyo. So the first one is on March 25th, and this is basically a pitch night for energy startups. So if you're a startup that would like to pitch, or if you are a VC who would like to join the VC panel, if you're a tech talent looking for new opportunities, or just interested to join as audience, please do go and sign up. So Energy Startup Pitch Night is on March 25th, and Mobility Startup Pitch Night is on June 24th. So please follow us again, and you can find all this information on our Facebook or LinkedIn or PSX pages. And if you would like to volunteer or partner or be a speaker or collaborate in any way, please also message us on Facebook or talk to us today, and we'd be happy to talk. So moving on to today's big event is You and I in energy sustainability. So just a really brief background of this. As I'm sure you're all aware, there's a lot of discussions going on about climate change and about renewable energy and about how we need to promote sustainable development, but it's very easy to get kind of lost in that big mix of discussions. So this event is really about how, in general, individuals such as you and I can somehow contribute to this. And my time is up. And with that, I'd like to hand it over to Kabir for moderation.
Thank you very much to Amanda for introduction. Today we have 4 very intriguing talks about energy sustainability. Let us introduce the first speaker of tonight, Yasuhiro Takeda, who is the Director of Technology. First speaker is Saori Yamanaka. I'm very sorry. First speaker is Saori Yamanaka from Schneider Electric. She has started her career in finance industry, but she is now working in Schneider Electric, and she is working in the energy industry. So let's give a big round of applause for our first speaker.
Okay, thank you for the kind introduction and giving me the opportunity to speak today. I only have 5 minutes, as I have to really speed up. Okay, so what Schneider is doing, we are the company to provide energy and automation digital solutions for efficiency and sustainability. So why we are doing this is because we anticipate the energy consumption is going to be 1.5 times in 20 years. That's what we anticipate. And also to meet the global warming, our sustainability goals, we have to halve our CO2 emission. That's one of our goals. So to achieve that, what we have to do is we have to increase the efficiency 3 times more. So that's how we come up with what we can do as Schneider with their history, with their technology we have, and that's how we can contribute to the society and global. So again, we think efficiency comes from how we efficiently use the energy, also how we efficiently use the energy, as well as from the automation side, how we efficiently produce the product as a industry. So to help those sides, we think we can achieve the efficiency for sustainable future. So for example, we developed a product that is F6-free product switch gears and main units. Those are the the key points is SF6 gas is a negative impact for the global warming, and that's a concern. And we developed their product with those gas, free of those gas. So that's one of the example what we are doing. And more like in the digital contents context, we actually have a IoT platform called EcoStructure. So a lot of large corporation, like an industry corporation, is having those platform to help the society to help their corporate achieve their goals to achieve the efficiency goals or smart energy use. And what we focus on is we think we should focus on our resources to the domain we are very good at. We have been working on which is building a data center and industry infrastructure. So that's a very high level explanation of our IoT platform. So through the EcoStructure, we actually, through the projects with the customers, we actually already achieved those benefits. So for example, we achieved our energy efficiency up to 85%. And that's actually the maximum result we got. That's the best, but on average 24%, which is not too small, I would say. And also 30% cost saving on average. For the productivity, we achieved, we actually got the report from our customer projects up to 60% CapEx saving, and also 75% OpEx saving. So those are what I want to say is we do already have a very tangible number we achieved through the EcoStructure release. Sorry, this is Japanese. I couldn't find a good slide. So, so how we another example how we achieve this sustainability effort is actually we test by ourselves first using the EcoStructure. So we do have our smart factory program and testing ourselves because we are actually in the industry domain as like other our very key customers. So through that program, we actually learned and invent the wheel. Then actually evolved the EcoStructure product. So in 2018, we do have a 64 smart factory, and this year we aim to have more than 100 smart factories globally. So that's a global product we develop. And digitization powered by EcoStructure, those are the areas EcoStructure can achieve. And maybe this is too detailed, so maybe just a concept like agile management, that empowered operators, reliability, process efficiency. So using those applications we provide on their EcoStructure platform, and depending on their customers' needs, they can pick and choose. Like application on their iPhone, a customer can actually pick and choose and utilize it through their operation. So this is my presentation about Schneider and energy and sustainability. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Saori Yamanaka, for her talk. From a tech giant like Schneider Electric, we would like to move on to a talk by an entrepreneur. So our next speaker is Marcel Kempers, who is an undergraduate student in aerospace engineering, and his team won this year's Hulk Prize at our Tokyo Institute of Technology. So please welcome our next speaker, Marcel Kempers.
How are you guys today? Good? Thanks for being here. My name is Marcel, and I was invited here by Amanda because we won the Hulk Prize at Tokyo Tech this year. Oh, thanks. And I'm from the Netherlands, and I run a little startup from the Netherlands, and we entered a competition called the Hulk Prize here, and we won with our project, which I'd like to share with you today. So what's PowerPower about? It's all started with biochar. So who here has heard of biochar? Show of hands. You? Like 5 people, okay. Well, I'm going to share with the rest of you today. That's a Dutch tulip as well. It blooms in April, just so you know, so that's a good time to visit the Netherlands. So biochar is not a new concept. If you go to the Amazon rainforest in Brazil and you dig up the grounds, usually it's light grayish, light brownish. I'm a bit colorblind, sorry. But in the places where you see it's dark, there's biochar there, and you see that the land is more fertile. So that we brought this concept and we planted our own plants. And what we do with biochar is we imported some coconut husks from India at first. We created some of our own biochar. And the process is called pyrolysis. So instead of gasification, where you just burn an organic substance with some oxygen, and you have carbon and CO2, and it releases itself, you stop the oxygen from coming in, so you remain the carbon structure within the compound. So it's biochar, it's 80%, 90% carbon. So if you magnify it, it's a carbon poor structure. So it means it's like a perfect luxury condominium for water and micronutrients to stay within the soil. So it increases food security, soil fertility, and long-term growth of the soil. So we think this is a really cool concept. At scale, biochar has the potential to capture 13% of global carbon emissions of human activities. That's a theoretical value, of course. So that's really interesting, right? A case study that we see is that when we make biochar, people actually package it themselves and sell it off. So we kind of support local businesses and local entrepreneurs who try to use biochar to create their own kind of business. But we also see that just producing biochar on its own is quite challenging because it takes extra time and effort for them. So what our startup tries to do is we try to integrate different part within the biochar atmosphere. And one example is in coffee production. So in coffee production, shortly after picking, the coffee cherries have to be dried shortly after picking to ensure high quality coffee. But this is getting quite difficult because of the high rainfall during the harvest season, especially in Indonesia. And the current method, the traditional method, is sun drying. And that's quite unreliable because the cherries get moldy and there's high rainfall. So what some people do is they buy wood and they dry it really fast. So what we invented was a pyroplane, a pyrolysis device. They take some bio-waste, so coffee husks. We produce biochar and heat energy as well for the drying process. So they get fertilizer because only 0.2% becomes a coffee. So it's a circular economy. The waste comes in, you get the biochar as fertilizer, and you get energy for drying. So that's the intersection of this. Another thing we're trying to do, I have to speed up really quickly, so sorry, is in Malawi as well, to integrate biochar into the atmosphere, is create a cook stove. So this cook stove uses biomass that's available, bio-waste. We produce biochar as a byproduct and give them electricity to charge the mobile homes as well, using a little TEG for electricity. And that is our team from the Netherlands. Yeah, that's our team. And if you're more interested, please check out our website, biopower.eu. And thank you for your attention, guys. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the talk. That is a lot of technical info to pack into 5-minute talk, but you did a wonderful job of it. I'm sure the audience has a lot of questions. So please stick around until the panel discussion. We have one more young entrepreneur for today's discussion, and she is Rosina Bade, who has recently joined Schneider Electric. and she is going to talk about her idea that she has currently presented.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for your time. I'm really excited to share my short story with you all and my Schneider's Go Green experience with you here today. Okay, my name is Rojina Bade, and this is where I come from, Nepal, land of opportunities. As you can see them, well, some of us might see them as problems, but I'd like to see them as opportunities. Opportunities to solve them and bring smiles in people's faces. And I try not to say no to an opportunity. When I was studying mechanical engineering in my undergraduate level, I was working in this project. And for the first time, I knew that 80% of the people in my country still cook food by burning wood. That was quite a shocking fact to me when I heard it for the first time. When I started working, I was offered to work in this community project called solar-powered water purification, and I happily took it. Not many of us had privilege to enjoy supply of clean drinking water supplied to our taps, and we were facing like 12 hours of blackout a day. And one day I took a training on ISO 15001-2011 on energy management systems. I got a chance to visit like 12 industries in Nepal, and where I had opportunity to share about this ISO to these industries. And there I learned that the problem is not just the lack of electricity supply. Rather, we do not know how to manage our energy consumption. So all of this even slowly developed this desire in me to study more on energy efficiency and management. So one day I just decided to pause my professional career for a while and pursue for higher studies. So when I was studying for my master's degree at Kyoto University, a friend came to me with this challenge called Go Green. I was really excited to hear about it because we could propose ideas to solve issues of urbanization. It was awfully close to my interests and also my major, but when I think of it now, I think it's a topic that all of us can correlate to, because at some points of our life, all of us have faced problems due to this tremendous boom in urbanization. So two of us formed a team and we started brainstorming on what we can do about it. And we decided to work on this limited space in cities. When I was 5 years old, I remember my house was in the middle of this endless farm, but now you can hardly see a patch of garden around it. So when houses grow on farms, we cannot expect food to grow on them. Similarly, increasing energy demands. Because of this increasing energy demands, we are in dilemma, like where to set up our clean energy power plants. So we are always juggling among our options for space. So our team came up with this idea. Why not use the wasted space under the rooftop solar panels and grow plants under them? Why not? With this technology called aeroponics, it allows us to grow plants without soil, and also it requires very less water. Our rough calculations showed that under 400 watt panels, that's about 1.8 meters square, we can grow about 100 plants, of course depending on the kind of plants we're growing. So let's take examples of these booming cities in the world, Delhi and Tokyo. Someone has estimated that there's like 15 kilometers square of available rooftop space and 40 kilometers square in Tokyo. So let's imagine if we can turn these areas into farms, how many plants we can produce in this. So can we not say that consumption of the city can be produced within the city? Okay. So we can take this as an opportunity. If we use the solution, we do not have to compromise with these factors. We can enjoy the benefits from all of them. So this idea helped our team win this Go Green Challenge in Japan. Unfortunately, other teams had more polished ideas, so we could not make to the global final round. However, I can say for sure that we had so much to take back home with us. We learned from the participants and their ideas. We learned from our mentors who helped us polish our ideas like really immature ideas into business models. All of us have dreams. Very few of us have ideas to turn dreams into reality. And when someone is providing you this opportunity, why not just reach out and grab it? As students, we might not have enough financial means to work on our dreams. But if we become working adults, although we have money, but will we have time and energy to chase our dreams? We might be bound by these responsibilities from the company that we're working in, or family responsibilities and so on. Then we'll be living someone else's dreams, unless we chase our own as both entrepreneurs. So life is a learning lesson. Life is a learning process. And to make best out of it, we have to grab all the opportunities that comes knocking at our door. So I wish you all the best. I hope you can make the best out of your life. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rosina Bade, for your inspiring speech. So we are down to our last speaker today. And finally, I would like to introduce Yasuhiro Takeda, who is the Director of Technology of Trendy. Please welcome our last speaker for tonight.
Hello everyone, thank you for giving me a great opportunity. My name is Yasu Takeda. I'm a director of the technology of Trendy. I'm also the PhD student of the University of Tokyo. So today I would like to introduce the P2P energy trading, but before that I would like to explain about the Trendy I'm working for. Trendy is a company that aims at the spread of renewable energy, but for that we believe that at least we need the three steps. First, it's a business, so we need the customers for making the revenue. And the second step is we need to deploy the lot of renewable energy. And if we achieve these two steps, we will have the surplus electricity. So for that, we need a way to exchange the electricity in the community. So for that, for the first step, we released the service called Ashidenki. So the characteristics is it's anyway the price is attractive. You can reach the cheaper electricity. And for the step two, we released a service called Hotodenki. Hotodenki is a solar panel can be installed at initial cost of 0 yen. It sounds skeptical, isn't it? So, but there's a trick behind that. So for the detail, please ask later. But there's a trick. And for the third step, for exchanging electricity, we are working on the proof of concept project with University of Tokyo and Toyota. So in this project, we have the 20 households, around the 10 plug-in hybrid car, and they interchange exchange electricity in the community. This experiment started last July. So before the detail of the peer-to-peer energy trading, I'd like to explain the incumbent power infrastructure. Most of the power infrastructure were built around the 1970. So now we are at the time that of course it's almost 40 years, almost 50 years ago. So we need to replace the infrastructure. So there's a two-way, reinforcing the existing infrastructure and use it as the same way, or we can replace that infrastructure by the new idea. So peer-to-peer energy trading is like the new type of the infrastructure. The concept is everything is interconnected, and they exchange electricity like the right hand diagram. However, electricity, it's not easy to have the infrastructure like right side. So the peer-to-peer energy trading concept is the power flow is will come with like it's not a it's not a mesh network. Okay, it's not a mesh network, but the data to exchange electricity has an exchange like this. So if you look at the community, the balance of the demand and the supply of the market. So from the distribution side, in the communities, the level of the demand and supply of the market. So it looks very stable. The usage of electricity. And a more abstract way, the infrastructure can be separated like this. So the power infrastructure is the underlying of every infrastructure, but on that there's information infrastructure to exchange the information, and that information will follow the rule of the market mechanisms like a stock exchange. And as you know, renewable energy cost is decreasing now. If you look at the line of the right-hand side diagram, from compared to the 2010, around the 2000 and 2013 to 2019, the cost that became the one-fourth or one-third. So the renewable energy was the most attractive energy source. So as you know, renewable energy is the marginal cost is 0 yen almost. So we should find a way to exchange electricity automatically. If there's demand to manage the system, it won't work. The financially speaking, it won't work. So that's the reason why we are working on the peer-to-peer energy trading. But peer-to-peer energy trading has the constraint that if the balance of the market, it won't work. Because if you have too much demand, the price will surge. Or if you have too much supply, the electricity will, the cost will be too low. So it won't attractive for consumers. So the balance is very important. I'm sorry, that was my last slide. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your talk, and we will move on to the panel discussion. May I request all the speakers to take their seats in front of the audience? Yes, please. All right, so let us first take any questions from the audience, because I believe that there should be a lot of questions from the audience today. All right, we already have one interested audience, please.
So impressed, Marcel and Regina, with your solutions, and would love to hear from you about how you're going to be moving this forward, what kind of support you're getting from Schneider, and what kind of partnerships can help you.
Thanks for the question. Really good question. We haven't actually talked to Schneider yet. Yeah. How we're moving forward though, in short term, tomorrow we're flying to Indonesia for a week to do some feasibility studies. So we're having some meetings with some coffee organizations and some farming organizations to see if this solution is really what they need. And Minka over there, she's coming with me. She has really cool hair. So
I'm sure that'll be really helpful.
But you were the one who knew of Abhayachar, right? You were listening. Let's have a talk later. Yeah.
All right, any more questions from the audience?
Regina.
Actually, our team came up with this idea when we were participating in this challenge called Go Green. And unfortunately, we had to stop it in the middle because we could not make it to the next round. And there were constraints of money and time. So, for now, it's paused. I hope we can continue somewhere in the future. Thank you.
All right, we have one more hand over there, please.
question is for Takeda-san. So, are you working with microgrids or big grids like Tokyo or big cities?
We are working as about the peer energy trading. We are using the incumbent infrastructure, so it's not like a microgrid. However, if we have a chance, we're happy to join another project. So we're not yet, but we want.
All right, I think she raised her hand first, so I would like to ask her first.
I have a question for you too. What do you think, because the consumers won't be waiting for active participation in the peer-to-peer energy market. So who do you think has the role of running this market?
So could you repeat that question?
It's me as a consumer, I wouldn't want to actively participate in the peer-to-peer energy market. So who, in your opinion, would have the role of running this market? Will it be an aggregator, will it be TEPCO, or?
Yeah, that's a great question, I think. Trendy want to be a platform of the peer-to-peer energy trading. However, for making that project as a real system, we need to overcome the barrier of the regulatory stuff, and also in Japan, we cannot build if you don't use the smart meter or certified meter. So for being the platformer, we need to work with of course the technical, also the METI. So and it will going to take time, at least 2 or 3 years. So hopefully Trendy is the first platformer for the peer-to-peer energy trading, but we will see. Thank you.
Yes, the gentleman in the back.
So my question is for you. It's a beautiful talk. I want to know how the installment of the panels will be in net zero, and what's the trick behind the price list installment of the panel?
About hot denki.
Yes.
Thank you for your question. Actually, Jeff is here.
Behind.
So he is
All the way behind.
oh yeah. So I will explain the basic the concept of the hot denki, but for detail, please ask Jeff later. But the thing is, we ask the customers to use the rooftop, and we install the solar panel on our cost, and for in return, we sell the cheaper electricity for the customers. So and the contract is a 10 years contract. So after the 10 years, we will give that the solar panel for free, and the user can reach to the cheaper electricity. So behind that, in that 10 years, we sell the electricity with the feed-in tariff program. So we gain the revenue by selling the electricity to the feed-in tariff, and also cover the cost to sell electricity cheaper. So that's a trick. So after 10 years, customer can use that rooftop free. So that's why we are saying that customer doesn't need to pay for installing the solar panel. That's a trick. Thank you.
Okay, we have one more question from the audience, please.
It's leading on to the previous question. What happens after this time and for the maintenance? Who is looking after the system?
The maintenance of the solar system. Yeah, in that contract period, Trendy will fully recover the maintenance fee. But after the 10 years, it's the customer's asset, so it's not our role. So, but within the 10 year, or Hot Denki has a 20 years contract as well. So if you prefer the longer maintenance, 20 years contract maybe good for you. Also, if you have the 20 years contract, the price of the electricity will be 20% cheaper. So it's also a good point for customers.
All right, thank you. I have one question for Saori Yamanaka about Schneider Electric's effort to get energy sustainability. We all understand that efforts are being made to get to the sustainability levels that we want to get, but to reach the levels defined by the SDGs, do you think it's enough the rate we are going right now in 2020? Is it possible to achieve the SDGs by 2030?
So I don't think it's easy, of course, and as a relatively large corporation, with a global operation, what we can do is we do have some impact by moving ourselves. So we set their SDG goals actually by ourselves to actually have a very high target, fully aligned with their SDG goals, and releasing in their quarterly reports how we are doing to achieve that target. So actually we achieved the target 5 years ahead already, going through the activities we've been doing, using their, developing their products, or even talking about their health, or so many sustainability goals we actually achieved each of their level of their achievement ahead of 5 years. So that's how we try as a corporate.
Great, thank you very much. Yes, one more question.
I have a question for Marcel. It was really interesting. I didn't catch everything. I mean, I think I don't have the knowledge, enough knowledge to understand everything. I have to read more about it. From what I've understood is that there's two ways to create this soil, this biochar. One from the waste, the other one is to extract it.
No, actually, the only way to make it is through pyrolysis. So in the old days, how the first slide I showed you in the Amazon rainforest, is the old civilization used to throw all their waste into these holes and used to cover it and light it on fire. So then it becomes straw because it's contained. So we try to use that concept into a smaller system that's quite cheap, because the cheapest pyrolysis system nowadays, it's maybe $30,000 to $100,000. So we try to make it for maybe $500 that each farmer can access. But usually pyrolysis is the only way to create biochar. Thanks for the question.
I had a question, but you replied to it.
Okay.
All right, any more questions from the audience? Yes, please.
I have a question for Yamanaka-san. You were mentioning for your switchgear systems, switching from the SF6, the sulfate chloride, to a non-BSS substance. Was that like a big technical change? Is it a big problem, like big issue?
So I'm not an engineer, so it should be there some, of course, R&D under behind. So that's the only thing I can say. Yeah.
All right, so we are getting close to the end of the panel discussion, but after the discussion, the speakers will be available at the demo table, just one story up. So please hang around if you want to talk personally with the speakers. I think we will take one or two more questions, so please go ahead.
I have a question for Mr. Takela. Actually, I think your speech was very interesting, and you said that automation of the peer trading will be really important in order to balance or stabilize the grid. What I'd like to know is what kind of technological solution, what kind of technology or mechanism are you using to achieve this, to achieve automation?
Thank you for the question. For achieving the automatical the behavior, of course, we are working on the machine learning, the software. I think it's going to be the key role for the agents for the peer-to-peer energy trading. And also, we are using the blockchain to settle the bids by the agents. And as you know, blockchain has the feature called the smart contract. The smart contract can help the idea of the decentralized autonomous organization. So, which means that smart contract is the program, computer program, but it can behave like the company. So if DAO works like exchange, agents that will communicate with that smart contract automatically, and in that exchange, there's no people there. So I think that machine learning and the blockchain will be the very important the technology to achieve it. Thank you.
All right, I think this will be our last question. Yes, please.
Yeah, also a question to you. So basically, you are killing the traditional business model of the utilities. So what is their position, and how do you think you can manage this? I think it will be the future, because sooner or later it will go into this direction. But currently, especially in Japan, the utilities try to keep the model of just distributing the energy.
Thank you for your question. I think this incumbent UTT structure was vertically integrated. However, that structure won't work for DER. We need a more, flexible way to adjust the balance of the electricity. Trendy is a spanner company of the TEPCO, but it can eat TEPCO business. I think that's the right direction for renewable energy. I don't know. So the question is just very solid, so I'm not sure there's an answer for that, but I believe that this type of the new movement will be needed for renewable energy expansion. Thank you.
All right, before we finish, I would like each speaker to give the audience and us one key message that we can take away from your speak tonight, your talks tonight. So may I ask Takeda-san, and then continue down the line. Key message from today's talk.
Key message from today's talk.
Yes.
Key message. Key message for me to
audience.
Yes, to the audience.
Key message. Every day I'm thinking about how we can spread renewable energy, and but I don't have the answer for that yet. But we need to keep working on that part. So I think let's keep working for that.
Yeah, let's go for energy sustainability in the future, right? Yamanaka-san.
Okay, so today you and I energy sustainability, right? So as you introduced, I actually started my career as a banker, and during my career, I just thought of how can I really kind of like thought it's more exciting to, rather than financing, but more being in the corporate, doing something better for the world. It's very dreaming work, but that's how I really felt. So that's how I jumped into this industry world. So so my message would be, so in being a part of large corporation, so as using my business career, I could actually contributing for the better business management, to actually be a part of this contributing sustainable world, so which is great. So I think my message would be any role you can focus on your maybe what you are interested in, what you are strong at. Then I think the passion is the key. Whatever you feel that you can contribute, and how seriously how you can contribute for that effort is the key, and you can always find a way to give the impact. That's my maybe message.
Thank you very much. Can I ask Regina Bade for her message?
I think So far, all the innovations have been centered too much around human beings, and we tend to forget that there are like millions of species of plants and animals who call this planet a home. And because of this, perhaps we have damaged this world beyond repair. So, are we involved in this market of energy because it's a booming trend nowadays, or also because we care? I think we need to develop some compassion and realize that there's a need of balance on what we take from this earth and give back, because balance is what it takes to make a process sustainable. Thank you.
All right, Marcel Campers.
Yeah, thank you. You guys are way more experienced than I am, so I should be taking a message from you guys. But one thing I think is that innovations already exist. There's a lot out there, but one important thing that we don't really talk about is politics and the business model around these innovations. Because the solutions exist, it's just how to implement them. So that's my little message. And have a good night, guys. And one more message, please donate to Australia. It's really bad there, man. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for customary applause after the speech. Thank you very much for taking such a lively part in our discussion. Before we finish, I would like to invite Lai Yi from Schneider Electric to hand out a token of gift to the speakers for their intriguing talk tonight. All right, Lai Yi, would you like to close off this session?
Hi. So I'll just quickly close this session. Thank you for the speakers and also your questions are really interesting. So for my part here, so this is an opportunity for all the university students. All right, sorry for working it out, but this is only for university students. This is a platform for you to showcase of your ideas, and at the end, your ideas can be incubated by our Schneider Electric venture team. So if you're interested, you have a good idea, just go for it. All right. So that's all from my side, and our speakers will be on the second floor. We will have a conversation tables. If you have a lot of questions and you want to know about them, please go to the one level up to enjoy a conversation with them. So thank you so much for your time for tonight. Have a good day.
Please fill in the survey.
Yeah, we have
if you want to
survey.
complain or anything.
Yeah, please let us know how we can improve.
Thank you. Thank you again. And we'll also be on the second floor, so please come and talk to us.